excited to participating in the Flipping Friday challenge hosted by Jamie of Board or Bananas. Jamie's channel has many thrift finds and upcycles. She also has a new channel called Board or Bananas DIY. I will list both of her channels in the description box down below, as well as the playlist. This little table was my mother-in-law's, and none of the other family members wanted it, so I asked for it. It's been in her bedroom for as long as I can remember. I cleaned it with a Dixie Belle white lightning cleaner, and I should have let you see it before it was cleaned. But I used a tablespoon of the white lightning to a half a gallon of water, and I just wiped it down with that and then rinsed it with warm water and then wiped up afterwards. I love the shape of the table. It's not a fancy table. It just feels like it's made with plywood, but I really like the shape. I used this chalk paint and sage from Folk Art to paint it. I do so much white that I just wanted to do a little bit of a country color that was not white, and this light green has been very popular, and I think it's a very pretty color. And I gave this 2 good coats. The first coat I did was pretty thick, and I used the round brush, the chalk paint brush, but it really didn't get into the corners very well. So I went the second time and used just a regular brush and watered down the paint a little bit, and it gave it great coverage. A friend of mine gave me some wood rounds that I used to make a sign in a previous project, but he also gave me one long plank of a pecan, and it's such a pretty piece of wood. And so my husband cut it down for me into the size to make a tabletop. So here I am sanding the wood. Now here I'm sanding the table and just distressing it around the edges. Just letting a little bit of that brown come through. Not a whole lot, but just enough. It was dry at the time. And here's the wood laid out for the tabletop, and glued it down with some wood glue, and on the bottom and on the sides. My husband went and got me something that worked a little bit better than the stick I was using to spread the glue. Once I got the glue spread out, my husband used his clamp to clamp the 3 pieces of wood together so that it would give it a good hold and glue together. And I cleaned off the glue that seeped through the cracks. And then on the edges we nailed down the wood so that it would have a good hold. The wood had a little bit of a bow to it to begin with, so we put the top on it what would probably been upside down. But I did like the striations on this side of the wood, but I had to go back in and give it a better sanding. And I'd like to give a shout out to Sandy McKenzie Lumbermill. She has a video which I will list of making your own stain using vinegar and steel wool. And I told her I was going to try it, and I'm trying it right now, and I just love the way it gave a natural beauty to the wood and first I just wiped it down, but once it dried so much that I went back and used a brush. My father-in-law made this chair. He built this chair. And this chair is probably older than I am. And my husband asked that I not paint it. So I'm using just a natural stain on this. And I like the old way it looked anyway. And while you're watching me stain, I'd like to tell you about my other channel, which is Susan's Southern Cooking. And it's going to be listed in the description box down below. And I hope you'll go over and check it out. If you like Southern cooking, you'll like this channel. And I did decide to wipe it down with the vinegar stain when I was doing the table as well. And I like how it turned out. It shows its age, like me. Since I didn't paint the chair, I've had this fabric for years, and so I decided to make a little pillow cushion for the chair. And I thought the greens would go with the color of the table as well. Once I got it cut, I turned it right side facing each other, and I used fabric hot glue to glue two sides and part of the third edge. Once I got that glued, I turned it right side out and took an old pillow and used the stuffing from it to stuff the cushion. I like the blue ticking of the old pillow, so I think I'll save it and use it also. After I got it stuffed as much as I wanted it to be stuffed, I glued the opening together, pinching it to give it that seam. And I used some of those clamps from Dollar Tree to hold it till it dried. And here's how they look finished. I really love these. I think they're beautiful. It really makes me happy to take something of my mother-in-law and father-in-law's and make it beautiful again. I hope you enjoyed this video. I sure enjoyed doing it. And until next time, bye.